thing. It's that kind of day. It's like a 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of day. Okay, let me come over here and find this on my thing so that I can partake in the chat. There, I see it. There I am. I see my kid in the back. Look at it. My oldest one is home just for a little while before he heads off to Alaska. Off to Alaska. He's back there waving. What a good kid. All right, we'll give everybody just a minute to come back in and find this. Hopefully they do. There, we got a couple coming in. Oh, what a disaster today. Hey, Ryan. Good morning or afternoon it is now, right? And my dog is shamelessly begging for lunch bowls. Hey, don't do that. He's having a restroom break. He'll be back to finish his lunch, and when he's done, he'll let you lick his bowl. There's the lava bison. And Roger, hello, everybody. Okay, so yeah, like I say, it's just been, my hair's a little goofy. It's just that kind of day. All right, I love it. It's wow, yeah, it's struggling over here. My resolution's pretty low over here. Okay, so the internet was out off and on all night last night, off more than it was on. And I was just putting the finishing touches on my video that I've been editing that I hoped to have out maybe Monday night, and I didn't get it out Monday or even Sunday. So I really hoped to get it out before the live today so that we could watch that and then chat about it. But yeah, I couldn't get it uploaded last night because the internet was really out more than it was on. I did get it uploaded off of my phone onto off of CapCut onto my phone this morning, and I thought, well, great, I'll get this posted and we'll get to watch it before the live. All is well. The internet is working, but it's not working at the speed that I pay for. I pay for extra fast upload speeds because it's ridiculously slow if I don't. And so I started uploading my video with, you know, like 2 hours, 2.5 hours of extra time before the live started today. And it's still only 25% done. So I called them. They're going to send a tech out, by the way. I fully expect that their tech will come and interrupt our live today. That's just how it goes, right? So, yeah. Hello, Roger. Hello, Ryan. Hello, Chubby Hubby. Hello, Opal Guy. Hello, Rufo. Hello, Bob's Rocks. Patricia. You guys, hello. It is such a bummer that the one in vertical one is because there were some other names in here that I've never seen before. So hopefully they get popped in and enjoy the live today, and hopefully we don't get popped in on by the internet guys. Sounds like my normal internet speeds. See, that was my normal internet speed, Ryan, but it was like drastically affecting what I do here. Like, nobody should have to wait. It's not that big a video. It's not a long, huge, long video, and it should not take 6 hours to upload. That's outrageous. And so I did contact them, and I was like, you know, like, can we do something here, you know? And they have, you know, upgraded packages where you pay more, you get faster internet. And I've done that. Like I say, I ran an internet speed test this morning because I was like, wow, why is my video taking so long to upload? And I was like, because we're back to square one. Yay. So like I say, I phoned them. It should, I think, I don't know how the internet runs. Morning, Rick. I think they should be able to just flip a switch or poke a button and that does the thing. I don't think I need a tech. Like I tried to tell them, please don't send a tech to my house. Just turn the internet up. Like whatever you do, turn it up. I don't know what you do. Just turn it up. And so I don't know what's going on, but the video is uploading. It's probably going to fail after it takes this long to upload. That's kind of how that usually goes. But please do keep your eyes out for the video when it comes. I'll try to run it as a premiere, but I honestly don't. I thought we were going to have a premiere this morning, and that didn't pan out either. So keep your eyes out for it. Hopefully it's a premiere. If not, then just enjoy watching it when you get a free minute. I got to scoot the microscope out of the way. Just give me a second to get things, gosh, that was a ruckus. Get things moved around. Okay. Let me catch up on a couple of comments while my kid munches on some chips. Oh, I love you. I'll see you after school. See you, sweetie. The speed they quote are rated possible speeds. Well, we're talking drastically different. So, like I say, I knew immediately. I was like, oh, this is like back to before I upgraded. Machine Head, welcome. Yeah, it was like total internet crash though. Like no internet. So last night, it happened the night before too, but it was very brief. And then last night it was just horrific. It was, like I say, off mostly last night and then back on this morning, but not quite at full speed. So I had to roll with the punches and adjust the schedule just a little bit. I'm sorry, Patricia. Yeah, that's a little bit slow, isn't it? Isn't it? Whew. Yeah, I remember those days. Yeah, but I'm talking, this is a 37-minute video and it's already been uploading for like 3 hours and it's still not done. So I think we're going to have some problems when it does finally upload. I probably won't. Welcome, World of Rockhounds. Oh, I am, aren't I, Rick? And there's Soul, but see, she's lurking, and Patricia's here too. And I'm pretty sure I saw Mutt in the other chat, so she ought to be sneaking in here pretty shortly. Starlink, I kind of learned. I was going to ask my brother. Betty, my brother has. Oh, thanks for hanging in there. I know, video's not working. That's my internet company trying to call me on this. I told them to use my other phone, so that's probably going to ring next. Told you guys. We're going to have to roll with the punches today. It is very much so like being in the Wild West out here. It's like we are like, 100 years, at least 25, maybe pushing 50 years behind. Thanks for hanging in there, guys. And I saw a couple more people jump in. Hi, James, and hi, who else did I see? A couple other I thought I saw. Did I not see? Somebody else? I switched to 720p to help upload at times. That's not good, Ryan. I want to be able to see. Oh, goodness gracious. The struggles are real, you guys. So Lava Bison has been playing with the flat lap, and I want to show you guys some of his fine work. This is like his very first cabs he's making here. You guys saw a couple of the other ones, the round one in particular that he made. I think he entered it into the cab contest. Voting, I think, is done there. So if it isn't and you didn't already get to vote, go check that out at the on the Discord. So it's always fun when you can take a rock that you found. So this was Lava Bison's find. He found the head cheese rock out here. And you can take it from rock that you find in the field to the saw where you get slabs, to the, trim saw where you trim those into some shapes, down to the flat lap where you make nice, beautiful jewelry out of them. I mean, that is quite a process, right? And it's such a rewarding process. Like, I'm so proud of him. Forget, like, seriously. And and just giving it a try too. I mean, he's watched a lot of you guys. He watches Kyle play. He watches, you know, a lot of you guys. We've watched Theo Kellison. We watch, you know, learning how to run some of our big saws, watching Kate. And, you know, I mean, just you watch others who have the equipment that you hope to get or that you know, currently are trying to learn to use. And you hopefully pick up a few skills or a little bit of knowledge along the way. But so just in case you're curious, does the head cheese rock take a nice polish? Yes, it does. I fully agree, you guys. These are wonderful. I love this little ribbon of color that runs through here. It actually runs on the back of this cab too, that little ribbon. But yeah, I thought I'd point that out to you. I love that little detail in here. Yeah, keep on grinding. The teal blue and the green stand out. And this bit up here is probably a bit of feldspar. I've seen it flash me, this very top little bit. I've seen it flash me once or twice. Can't get it to do it now, but also, and there's tons of light coming in here, but let's see. Yeah, oh yeah, look at the light shine through the quartz on top. Oops, blind us. Oops, now we're gonna get the red light show. Sorry. Okay, off so we can see how the just like pink quartz, and on so we can see the backlight. Oh, come on, light. Sorry, it's either off with one push of a button or it's all the way through the strobes of reds and all the fantastic colors. Excuse me. Yeah, so those are his, and he kind of looked back and thought, gosh, those are kind of big. I kind of like that. That was really bold, and I actually really kind of like it. Like, you don't have to make a piece of jewelry out of it. It doesn't have to be jewelry size. Like, you could really just put that in your display case or something and enjoy it as a specimen. I mean, but it would make a really wicked bracelet, or, you know, I mean, a big piece of a necklace for, you know, some people like their cabs to be, you know, big enough to see the detail. So I like that. I liked that he kind of, you know, there aren't rules necessarily to follow. And sometimes I think that, like, when we teach kids the rules and stuff, we teach kids to not be creative. I don't think it does a whole lot under the UV, Roger, but we'll check. And so I do kind of feel like, yes, it's good to learn things from other people, but it's also good to not be told, like, you can't do that. Don't listen to people when they say that's wrong or you can't do that, because, you know, going out and trying something just a little different just because you're learning is, you might come up with something that's, you know, kind of cool, kind of groovy. This is a rock that I found, and it's got quite a bit of feldspar in it. It'll flash you at the right angle so you can see it probably better in the rough cut. Of course, I say that and then it will not do it. Anyway. He absolutely fell in love with this material, and so he wanted to give it a go. This is, again, one that I found out here, so I can't tell you what it is exactly. Other than, you know, it's pretty. Made a very pretty cab. There was a little feldspar flash. There, we're seeing it. See, I told you it's flashy. I told ya. There is quite a bit of it there. You can see the pink feldspar flashing in that back piece there. Yeah, he didn't know I was going to do this morning, by the way, the lava bison. He didn't know I was going to show you guys. But like I say, it's been such a wild morning that I've been so busy. Like, I made set up the premiere for the video to come out, you know, and made sure that it wasn't the obnoxious intro. And all of that stuff, set the time and everything. And then as I watched everything, you know, not progress, I had to go back and readjust the time. Like, obviously this can't premiere at 12:30. It's only 10% uploaded or whatever, you know. So it's been one step forward, two steps back all morning for me. And I just couldn't, I was like, you know what, we're gonna look at these today. I couldn't come up with anything on the fly enough to, and again, I don't know, are those guys coming over and gonna interrupt us in 5 seconds? Are they gonna call me again? Is service gonna drop out? So I was like, we'll just do this today. That's a great plan. This reminded us of the worm rock that Karen was showing the other night. I'm gonna turn it over and kind of give it a little buff on this mat because I think I got my fingerprints all over it. Anyway, this is one that he found, Lava Bison found. I actually didn't think that it was hard enough in the field. I was like, I don't know. I mean, he asked, you know, what do you think about this one? And again, when it's not polished, I'm like, gosh, I don't know if that's gonna take a polish. Look how kind of plain, and I mean, the yellow pops, and that's really cool. But yeah, when we brought this home, cut it, and then got it wet, I was like, ooh, that's very nice. So then he, you know, proceeded to cab it. Let me grab a piece of that in the rough. Let's grab this thinner piece. It'll go under the lens a little bit better. So yeah, just to remind you guys, here it is in the rough. And like I say, I know it's out of focus, but that edge, that orange really popped in the edge. But when we cut it, I was like, boy, I don't know. And again, when we picked up, I was like, it just looks like a mud ball to me. I don't know if it'll ever make a cab. It kind of looks like a mudstone or something, right? I'm going to go ahead and wet it off screen real quick. But when you wet it, it's like, oh, shoot, that is pretty. And to my surprise, I mean, again, don't let somebody tell you don't try it. Don't let me tell you don't try it. I kind of told him that I didn't think that was worth a try. Guess what? I was wrong. I was wrong about the bison stone too. So I'm glad that he's brave enough to try some of this stuff and come up with some neat results. Learn the rules like a pro so you can break them like an artist. Yes. Oh, I love it. Hey, Meg, welcome. Did I miss it? There's Ma, by the way. Hey, Ma, and Jeff's here. Hello, Jeff. Rick, I think I said hello to you, but if I didn't, hello again. Sandmaker, welcome. Is Chubby Hubby being funny? Chubby Hubby sent me a little something too. I think I might make a little members only video. I've only got half of his package, so I might make a little members only video, and then you may see the thing in future videos. Is all I have to say for now. Let me just say, Chubby Hubby, the guys were excited by the digger tools. They were like, hey, whatever brand name it is, I'm sorry, I'm a girl and I don't know tools. Whatever brand name it is, jacked them all up. They were like, yeah, it's a, you know, well, I do vacuum cleaners. It's a Dyson. Woo! You know, like they were stoked about the brand name of the digger tool you sent me. The mysterious object of awesome. Yes, that. I'm getting into this second bag here, so sorry about the crinkling noise and then just leaving you guys look at nothing. I'm here for a minute. Oh yeah, Lavatite. That was a good one. I do like that one. I do know tools. I could give a crap less what brand they are as long as they do the job, right? Like, but like I say, the boys were certainly delighted by the brand, whatever it is. Yeah, Ma, we've got to remember that my kids gave me an air compressor for Christmas, and the first thing I did was stick it in my display case and blow the dust out of my display case with it. And they were like, Mom, that's not what it's for. It's for your tires and stuff. And I was like, well, sure it is. Absolutely. I don't argue. But it's also for cleaning hard to reach places that get dusty, right? Like, uh-huh. Awesome, Jeff. Jeff and Vicky had a cab machine shipped to them today. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see this sort of stuff coming out on their channel as well. Okay, so let's dive into this really quick, right? Let's start with the Bisonite, and then we'll talk about the other couple little pieces that are there. So first thing is, you know, this is a new material. We've never seen it. We've never worked it before, you know, brand new to us. So, and he's entering, you know, somebody in here mentioned that he should probably enter for the, you know, reflective competition in the cab contest. I just rearranged all of my dust. Sure, but I got the dead bugs out of the display case. They blew right out of there. Well, and you know, like, I really like to have the display case lit up in the evening. It doesn't really much matter if it's lit up in the daytime. It's nice and all, but I prefer that it's lit up in the afternoon and the evening when we're in the house, you know, like when we're settling down for dinner. I like to have it lit, you know, when I'm watching TV in the evening, you know, whatever. So it's just, it runs on a timer. The light runs on a timer, and it doesn't come on like first thing in the morning, and it isn't on from like 2 o'clock in the morning until, you know, 11 o'clock in the morning or whatever. So because we're sleeping, and then it's just like, I don't want it bright and obnoxious in my eyes when I'm having coffee in the morning. So because the light runs on a timer, and the little gnats and the little flies and the little tiny moths and things like that are drawn to lights, they do find the little cracks and holes and ways to get in there. And then they get in there and they never find their way back out. So it's kind of nice to just be able to blast them on out of there. Oh, and then I've got, you know, heater vents and things that are hard to get to, that it's kind of nice to be able to go shove an air hose in there. So back to the rocks though. Okay. Like I say, he did find this, and in the rough, I'm gonna just flip one of these over. Let's see, I'll flip this one over. In the rough, this is extremely reflective. Well, you guys know, we've been talking about this for a little while now. It's extremely reflective. And the first go round, we polished it, you know, like you would anything. You want to take all the scratches out and get that nice smear finish, which is great because then you can kind of see a different pattern emerge, and you don't get all that like real reflective stuff in your eye, but you lose that like super reflective thing that's happening. It's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but kind of not what we were hoping for. It is beautiful, like I say, and there's nothing wrong with it. I definitely went ahead and wire wrapped a couple of these that were at that stage because, gosh dang, it is gorgeous. It's almost got like a salamoline kind of feel to it, you know. Anyway, it's not focusing very good. There we go. That's a beautiful little piece, huh? And just a simple little wire wrap job. Nothing too fancy. Just easy peasy. So those are polished, like I say, out to all the way up to a, you know, the orange grit or whatever it is on. I can't remember. And then this one he had actually polished to this grit, the round one too, and came back and took it back to the purple one. He probably knows. He might, if he's not too busy while he's at work today. He might be able to jump in and tell you what grits they are. Or I could go look. But anyway, taking it back, now you get that nice reflective, you know, stuff happening again. He was like, man, I kind of messed up a couple of my edges. You know what? Live, learn. 220. Thanks, Ma. Yeah, I know he chatted with you about it too. So over polishing on this, you lose that chatoyance. So there is kind of a perfect balance to be had there where, yeah, you've got all the scratches out and it's beautifully polished. But if you want it to do that shiny thing, you got to kind of not go or come back, not go quite as far into the polish, or do but come back. So just heads up, if you guys get your hands on any of this, which it could be a possibility, we've got a little bit of it for you guys too, sometime in a sale. You can polish it, you know, to that mirror finish, and that's beautiful too. Or you could polish it up to that mirror finish and bring it back, or just not quite all the way. Hey there, Josh, welcome. Well, and Jeff, when you're super excited about something like a brand new cabbing machine, it seems to take forever anyway. Anyway, what a super odd material, huh? I love it. Anyway, like we could probably look at that all day, but okay, so there's the, I can't remember, lavatite, bisonite. I was sitting in Lava Bison's driveway the other day, and I looked down and said, look, a little coral fossil right here in your driveway gravel. And he put it on the flat lap, polished it on up. See if we can get a little closer. Can we get closer, please? Thank you. Again, doesn't that just make you want to like go cut all your ammonites and corals and polish them up? I still have not done that. I need to order the blades, more blades from A Little Saw, and Lava Bison. He was giving me kind of a ration of crud up here the other day because I'm like, it's on my list. And he's like, yeah, but like your list can kind of go and go and go. Like he's right. I do not hit, you know, send very, it takes me forever. I like put it in the cart, sure, but hit send takes me forever. So I actually did look up the blades that I have, make sure I got the right kerf and everything, and then I put 3 of them in my shopping cart. So and then I looked for a couple of, I need to also order some jewelry findings. Like you notice on this piece of jewelry that I did for Lava Bison's stone, I'm out of the little silver clasps. And so I just, you know, I mean, because I just wanted to see it hanging on someone's neck, I just put a gold clasp on it anyway. And then Lava modeled it for me, which by the way was awesome. He would never, I'm sure, want anybody to know that. So shh. But he looked really good wearing it. It wears well. It's really pretty on the person. Moving on though. So, you know, the blades for the saw for the little saw are in the shopping cart, but I just want to get a couple little more jewelry findings and stuff that I need also before I full send it. I can't remember where Lava got this. If this is a piece that his mom brought from Arizona, or if this is one that he ordered, but who ain't a fool for some crazy? Look at what a nice polish he did too on that flat lap with it for this. And leaving a nice live edge. It is, isn't it, Meg? I agree. Right on, Ma. Oh, look at the color. And a bot pocket. Crazy and lacy. Sandmaker. But bump. I liked it. I liked that. That was, yes. That was approved. I approve that comment. But also, yeah, the banding up in here with the, blue and the gray and the beige and the white and the cream. Super pretty. And then he did a cab. Whoopsies. Let me throw it around. And then he did a cab with it too, where he left the one live edge. Like, way to go, Lava Bison. Look at all the little fractures down here throwing little rainbows. Welcome, Brian. Glad you could stop in for some coffee on the Wild Wild West. Oh gosh, it's been such a morning and an evening too. Like I say, I was like, I'll finish that up. I really should finish that up. I'd love for us to be able to watch that video together tomorrow. Internet. That sounds like fun, Brian. Coral Carol. Oh, you guys. All right. Oh, I'm just so kind of upset that we did not get to look at the rocks before the other rocks on the video before the live today. It's okay. You guys want a little sneak peek? You want that to be your reward for being here live, is that you get a sneak peek of the rocks that are coming in the video if it ever gets uploaded? I'm going to pull out just a couple of my favorite weirdos. In fact, I will pull out exactly 3. 3. How does 3 sound? I'll pull out exactly 3 of my favorite weirdos that I found this weekend. Or that were on the video for today. Ooh. There we go. Yeah. Let's start with the little one and we'll just go our way. We'll go our way over. So this one, I mean, from afar, it doesn't look like all of that in a bag of Skittles, but look at the little tiny, like, circles. You know, I'm a sucker for some circles. And I don't know what this material is. Is it chert? Is it, I mean, I have no idea. I really, really don't. But all of these little tiny bits under the microscope are like little tiny like agate pockets, like little agate bits. And then this, I know it looks blurry right now to you guys. It actually really looks blurry under the microscope too. It was really hard to focus on. I'm gonna come back out because we are probably pushing it just a bit there. But there's like little circular things happening in the edge of that too. But yeah, we'll come back over here where things are just a little bit more defined. Oops, no reflection. There we go. Like I say, you can actually like see the little circles and it's a little less like blurry looking. I don't know why it appears so blurry to the eye, that other pocket. but it does. Anyway, yeah, like I say, all of these little spots kind of look like little agate spots. And then there's just like this little crevasse, if you will. And it's fun. My goodness, I have a frog in my throat that I cannot get rid of this morning. Yeah, I don't know why it looks fuzzy or blurry. It just does to me. With the naked eye and under the microscope. Okay, so there's one. We'll look at this one next. Oh. Who wants to just go in there? Yeah, I know it's kind of fuzzy looking. I don't know what's up with that. Like you expect it. I'm gonna go back to the other one really quick. You expect it to sharpen up and like show those defined little like lines and the little circles and stuff, and it just doesn't. It's weird. Okay. Yes, butt crevasse. We're looking at the butt crevasse. Even this up here is sparkly. Oh my goodness. I like the little dangly too, the little like tonsil hanging down there. Little what's that called? Uveolitis. What is that called? That little thing that hangs down the back of your throat. The one they pull when you get tonsillitis. The one the thing they take. Sickos. Anyway, uvula. Yeah, that's the one. The flapper. All right, we looked at his little hole for a second. Let's look at the rest of him. Sorry, that is still a little out of focus right there. Let's back you up a little bit. There we go. Is this just quartz or is there, I mean, is this something happening? Is this I don't understand this. Yeah, I don't get it. I so hear my oldest son in the other room talking about his video game. Can you guys hear him too? I wonder. Maybe I'll let you look at that for just a second while I go tell him to shut his door. The grab and gag Sandmaker. Ba-dum-bump. Maybe you should turn the volume down just a little bit. I'm going to shut your door a little bit better. There you go. Okay. Oy, oy, oy. I mean, the resolution on my live screen looks good, but the resolution over on my device looks like crud. It's breaking up bad over there. Hopefully, it's not bad for you guys. Oh, that's a juicy one. Anyway, like, we'll look closer at all of these rocks and more in the end reel of the video that's uploading right now. I love when these rocks get this like little paisley pattern. Little tiny fortification agate banding things happening. Did that help? You can push it too far. It's a little wonky looking on my screen. Yeah, I think I'm running on some pretty basic ass service here. It's we're riding the struggle bus super hard today, all the way to Sucksville. But yeah, even in the wonky, grainy thing I'm getting over there on the other screen, I can still see that little fortification agate banding thing happening there. So yeah, even with crappy service, I can tell that's a good looking rock. Too bad. That is bad. It does not look good on my screen. Should we do one more? One more quick reveal? One more sneak peek? That's it. That's your sneak. And your peek. You guys are going to have to watch the video. Let's see if we can get it to focus again. There we go. Sorry, I'm holding the camera, so we got everything shaking. Butt pocket. Ready? Sneak peek. All right. That's it. That's all you get. That's all you get. Yeah, it's so hard, Machine Head, when you're like, is this a jasper or an agate? Or a jasp agate? Is this a, you know, and is this is my favorite. Is this a petrified wood, an agate, or an agatized petrified wood? I mean, there's so many like combinations of those things that can be, it's an agate with a quartz pocket. You know, so I still struggle sometimes distinguishing, like, is this, what is this? Is this just a, you know, sparkly fancy quartz, or is this an agate? You know, sometimes I really struggle about identifying. Again, some of those that kind of teeter, like, this is an agate for sure, but was it at one point in time possibly a petrified wood? I mean, it might have been. So, or some of my rocks get little, they're jaspers, but they're full, or I guess technically they would be chert because they have biological things in them, but they get little tiny fossils and things like that in them. Yeah, right. It's like, it's Jasper's third cousin twice removed, you know? So, you know, I mean, there's the, you know, is it opaque? Is it translucent? Is it microcrystalline? Is it, you know, what are the grain sizes? So there's lots of little, like, you can nitpick some of that stuff apart and categorize some of it, but some of it is definitely smooshed together. You know, I've got this piece of pet wood that you know, here's one more sneak and peek. Don't tell everybody. You got to go watch the video. Where this is a pet wood with a little bit of like agatized, opalized banding running through it. You know, so what is the white stuff in there? Wait a minute. You know, maybe it's onyx. Maybe I'm wrong. But, so yeah, it's not all just straightforward sometimes as you'd like it to be. Like, I know I, in particular, like everything to fit into a box or category so that it makes sense. And sometimes they don't, like, you know, like obviously, you know, quartz pockets and agates are they're in different boxes, but they do get all smushed together sometimes, you know. So anyway, and then what do you call it? You know, it's definitely a Montana agate, but there's so much quartz inside of it that, you know, so yeah. Yeah, and shirt, and like you said, the, you know, things that just, yeah, okay. Anyway, Meg, I was reading your comment there. It's fun. I really, yeah, a churdaggett, you know, so but yeah, there's lots of fun little friends and things that I found in these rocks that I just went out on my last hunt and got. And I think I titled it From Mad to Glad because when I went out there, very first thing as I was pulling into my rock counting spot, I saw something out in the field that made me very mad. You're gonna have to watch. And I went and retrieved it, and it made me mad. And then I got glad. So yeah, don't forget to do the like button things. Like I said, I really wish we could have watched that together today before before the show today, but oh well. It might have just gave me a notification that it finished uploading. So maybe when they interrupted my thing earlier this morning, or when they called me on the live this morning, maybe they were calling to let me know they turned the knob or whatever they did. So do keep an eye out for that. Hopefully it comes out soon. It's a fun video. It's a lot of fun. As I look at all of the rocks in front of me, and I think, man, that was a lot of fun. There's even a baby head cheese rock in the video. Ah, little baby head cheese rock. So, yeah, definitely. We're still learning. I'm still learning, and we're learning together. So, thank you guys very much for tuning in today. I can't. I'm gonna try to swig him down. Hey there, Julie. Welcome. We're kind of rounding her out now here. But yeah, thanks guys for hanging out and checking out like all this cool stuff that Lava Bison's been doing. I can't believe what an awesome job he's doing. I love that little like pink purple bit that runs through that. Oh, it's so pretty. A little coral. So pretty. The little bot hole. So pretty. And then, yeah, like I say, as I look at these rocks that are part of this video that just is coming out, hopefully today, hopefully. Oh, fingers crossed. It's been so up and down, forward and back. I'm just like, I'll go live after the video. No, I guess I'll go live before. Will I go live at all? I don't even know. Maybe I'll go for a walk instead. Just cancel today and go for a walk. I'm so glad I stuck it out and that I got to hang out with you guys, even if it was full of interruptions and disruptions, and you know, it's not usually like that, but you gotta expect that it's gonna happen once in a while, right? Like every once in a while, you're gonna run into the unforeseen, you know, struggles of the YouTube maker. Oh, by the way, you're out of storage space. Don't you tell me if you're not out there making videos that you haven't ran into that issue yet. Failed to upload. Oh my, no. Oh. Yeah, I actually have played around with StreamYard. I do kind of like it. I don't necessarily know if I love the price tag attached to it, and I don't always do so much that I don't know. In the future, you know what, if live streams gets to be, you know, like my main squeeze and stuff, I would love to be sitting here doing some StreamYard stuff where I've got a camera showing you the rocks as I'm talking to you. That would be really, really cool if you could see both views. But right now I do kind of a 50-50. Sorry, I got one hair there that I had to wrap around the bun. I do kind of a 50-50 mix of in the field filming, out of the meteorite display case filming, and live streaming and stuff like that, so that like StreamYard isn't necessarily awesome for filming my rock walking videos and then getting them out to you. And unfortunately, when you get out into the field for things like rock walking, and I know Julie and Brian have been Julie and Brian have been searching great spots to go where they get good cell service so they can take us with them. And that's really hard to do. It gets grainy, it gets choppy, you know, so. Thank you, Lyle Bison. I do just prefer on my rock walks to film them and then edit them and put them out. And so, like I say, if, you know, live streams get to be something where I'm really leaning into and I'm really enjoying it, then by gosh, that's an upgrade that I'd like to make. And I have considered making. But for now, because it can't be my main focus just yet. I mean, I've got to still be working on some videos and stuff like that. Just for scheduling purposes and stuff, you know, like maybe in the future we'll be able to do more live streams according to my schedule, you know, and I may, you know, break my Wednesday schedule as in summertime and be like, hey guys, I'm live here at, you know, whatever. And, or, you know, today only because we're at this special place doing this special thing, you know. So there may be some lives, and especially like members only lives that, you know, are kind of outside my norm and do some fun things. Brian, order some saw blades, he says. They're in the shopping cart. I really will. Like, I really will. Because I've got a few over there, and I opened the box, and the other day I thought I had some new ones, and they were old ones. I will get by, but yeah, I'd like to cut some ammonites and all kinds of stuff. Probably could suffer through it, but be cool to have some more blades. Yes, thank you, Ryan, so much for that. He is very generous. And yeah, there may come a time, you never know. I mean, I may step in a gopher hole and twist an ankle, or I mean, just, you know, my knees, when I'm out rock hounding, you guys should hear my knees pop. You may even hear it in a video from time to time. Like, I don't know, I usually shut it off by the time I'm getting up and down, but my knees make a little popping noise every time I get up and down. A GoPro, that is a good idea. And I would also like to get a drone so that we can see some aerial footage of some of the stuff that's really hard to get a feel for when you're just on the ground looking. That just, I mean, kind of takes me back to that time when my kid did that video up in the caves and he was elevated up and he could see all those little pits in the ground and stuff. Like, there is stuff like that out here. You know, teepee rings and things, especially the teepee rings, that it's so hard to see when you're standing in and amongst them. You can't grasp the magnitude of how many of them there actually are when you're on the ground, and you start walking through and you're like, oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another. Wow. And another one, and another one, and another one. And so, but I think an aerial view of that might be really the way to go when I want to show you guys stuff like that. So, yeah. I thought there was plastic wrap in my pocket one day and it was my knees popping. Jules. Oh, yep. It doesn't hurt me, but, you know, maybe there'll be a day when it does, you know, and I'll have to slow things down a little bit, and we'll do more live streaming. And at that point in time, StreamYard would be very useful, you know, so. Yeah, Rufo, glad you could stop in. Sorry about your meeting. Awesome, awesome. Somebody's out there doing the memberships, eh? And I'm not seeing it, probably. That's okay. Oh, I do. I see a gifted 10 membership? Is that it? I must be not seeing that today. It's funny because we didn't see this super chats the other day. All we saw was the memberships, and now we see the memberships and not the supers and not the members. You had a good time at the hot springs. I had a good time for that in Hot Springs, Montana, Perwicut. There's many terraces and fields, stones. Oh man. Oh man. I mean, Montana is a rock hounder's dream. Don't tell anybody. We're all full. Just kidding. I know Idaho's great too. Oregon's got some really interesting stuff. I mean, there's a lot. Arizona obviously has got some wonderful stuff. Utah, you know, each state's got something, you know, at least something that I've got on a bucket list, you know, kind of in the back of my mind. So, but yeah, Montana is a lot of fun. I mean, I remember going on some field trips and stuff when I was a kid, and these kids here too, that like we literally can walk them from the school, you know, 2 blocks down the edge of town and take them out into private property, and they welcome the kids, you know, just bring them on out. And they dig fossils, and it corresponds with their science class. And instead of sitting in a classroom all day learning about fossils, they actually walk down the street and go dig fossils out of the neighbor's field, you know. It's wonderful. And so it's no wonder that I'm bit by this bug. And then again, our school district's really good about taking us to, you know, all of those old mining districts and things. And, you know, those are field trips we take throughout school too, where we go see, you know, Butte and Billings and, you know, all of the, you know, Virginia City, Nevada City, all of that stuff. So it's no wonder that, you know, I'm a rock fiend. And there's a few other rock fiends in this town as well. And some of them are young, enthusiastic individuals. Let me tell you this story, you guys. Okay, sorry. There's ground in there. And there was a hair in there. Oh, that's awesome. It's that kind of day. Let me go fill my cup up, and I'll be right back to tell you about a prairie kid story. I got a phone call from a rock enthusiast. I'm gonna hurry because I'm excited to tell you. Okay. I'm so excited to tell you guys this. Okay, so I get a phone call from the girl down the street, the lady down the street, and I assume it's her. So I answer the phone, hello, and it's her kid. And he's like, hey, this is Grayson. And I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, buddy? I've went rock hounding at least twice. I've put him on my YouTube channel twice now. Once, I think the title was Grab a Kid and Take Him Rock Hounding or something like that. And the other one was We'll Do Work for Rocks when we were out branding. And I took him and his little brother out for a little while. Anyway, so he actually was making some comments the other day when I talked to him about, you know, oh, how long ago was that? Like 2 years ago? Yeah, guess what, buddy? It was only 1 year ago. But it does kind of feel like 2 years ago. It's been a minute. Anyway, so yeah, he's very enthusiastic. If you guys remember the video where I took him rock hounding, he found a lot of little fossils and stuff and some petwoods, and he had a lot of fun. Anyway, so I answer the phone. Hello, this is Grace. And he says, what's up? And he says, I've got a rock that I'd like for you to take a look at. Hey there, Joseph and Rosie. Welcome. You're going to love this story. You're going to love this. He says, there's a rock I'd like for you to take a look at it. I think it's got a jade band running all the way through it. And I think to myself, like, well, there are some serpentinites and some jadeites, especially up in Canada. I mean, then we get some glacial erratics and stuff. So maybe he's not terribly far off, you know. Let me go see what he's. So, and I asked him, do you want to bring it over and have me look at it? Or do you want me to come over and look at it? And he says, well, it's kind of big for me to carry. I said, all right, I'll come on down. Are you ready right now? And he says, yeah.
So I go down to Grayson's house to see his rock with a green stripe running through it. That's kind of big for him to carry. Walk up, I get there and I'm like, let me see your rock. And he leads me around to the tailgate of the truck, and sitting on the tailgate of this truck is, I am not joking, a boulder. A boulder. A boulder. A boulder. A boulder. And I'm like, oh my God. And it does a nice, like, solid green band running all the way through the middle of this rock, all the way around, right? And I'm just so shocked at the enormity of this rock. I'm just so shocked how big this thing is. I'm like, what the heck, Grayson? And so his mom comes over my shoulder and she says, no, for real. And she says, I was sitting in the truck on my phone and I looked up and I thought, oh my God. And so she says, I turned my phone around, I took a video of him, and I thought, only my kid would haul a boulder back. Like, I can't take this kid anywhere without him bringing rocks back, but that's a boulder. Like, I can barely, like, turn it over on the bed of the truck. He actually hauled that thing down the hill and across the field. Whoa. I cannot believe it. I'm just like, it's a good rock too. Like, I'd be darn proud to, like, put it at the end of the driveway, or like down by the mailbox, or up at the front door or something. It's a beautiful rock. Anyway, I take one look at it. The whole top of it is like a very pale blue, like maybe blue-gray kind of quartz, and it just sparkling in the sun. And then the whole, like, across the middle, like I say, a green, like, green line. And then beside the green line, on both sides of the green line, was a very distinct pink, almost red band. And then on the bottom, again, a big chunk of, like, you know, kind of uncolorful quartz. The bottom was a little less pretty than the top, or the top than the bottom, whichever way you wanted to hold it, right? So I take one look at it and I'm like, I think I know what this is. And I think this is a humongous unakite. Like, this is a great big band of unakite running through this quartz boulder, right? And so I pull up unakite on Wikipedia real quick, and we look at some pictures of it, and he kind of agrees. It looks very similar. And so I tell him, according to Google, that unakite is a pink feldspar, which we find tons of up here. And that the green is an epidote, if I remember right. Don't hate me, just correct me if I'm wrong. And so I tell him, I'm like, you know, if we had a jeweler's loop or a hand lens, and we looked at this green stuff, it'd probably be really sparkly, kind of crystally. And as I turned the rock, the whole, like, face of this green line was just spark. And I'm like, see, just like that. So, anyway, it's just an absolutely beautiful rock, but way too big to do anything with. Except to decorate the yard. But while he had me there, I can't believe he hauled that to the truck. Gosh. So while he had me there, it just gets better. I love this story. I love this kid. I just need a bigger saw. Yeah, okay. Anyway, he has more rocks for me to look at while I'm there, and he's got my full attention, right? And he just starts pulling them out of every nook and cranny in the bed of this truck. Like, I didn't even see them there. And here, how about this one? How about this one? What about this one? And they were great. They were great rocks, right? And I looked at a few of those, and I'm trying to tell him, like, oh, these are great little fossils. He had one that was really similar to one that Caden prepped when he was about Grayson's age. Let me grab it really quick. And like I told him, I said, I think Caden did this with a piece of sandpaper. And so when you get in when you polish this, you can see like all the little details of all of the little shell bits and things that are in there. You can see them really, really good. Like you could see like little teeth or saw blade mark looking things, you know, on that thing, whatever it is. You know, without it, it looks like this, which is neat in itself. But all you got to do is just grab some sandpaper and give her a little buffety buff, and it gets even prettier. So I'm encouraging him to, even if it's, you know, the basic way to go on this, that's a fun thing to do, is polish him up a little bit. And he had a couple, excuse me, like septarian stuff. Let's see. Definitely a lot of, he's a little fossil hound. He really likes fossils. He had some, you know, we find just, you know, this limonite, look, pieces are falling off. And every once in a while, there's a turritella in it. And he had one piece of septarian nodule that had broken into 4 pieces and was just crammed full of little shell fossils and things like that. But there was one turritella in there. And I was like, ooh, lucky you. And if I were you, I would grab a little rouge on the end of that. He's got a Dremel. He's got a tile saw. And I was like, I'd grab a little jeweler's rouge on the end of that Dremel and polish that up a little bit. If I was you, it'd be beautiful. And so while we were talking about his fossils that he has found, you know, the turritella, the, you know, rock like this, I asked him, I said, do you have any books, Grayson? And he said, no, I didn't. I said, if I loaned you some books, would you be interested in looking at them? Yeah, he says. I know, turritella, I told him. So I sat down with him. I brought him back. I shuttled him back over to my place for a minute, and we went through some of my rocks and stuff. I gave him a few rocks, of course, for him to take home and play with. And I, like I say, showed him, you have a rock like this. Caden did this with a piece of sandpaper. And then, yes, I told him that's a turritella fossil in there. And then I showed him a piece of turritella and told him, you know, it's, if it helps you remember, as, you know, any young boy would, I'm sure, never forget something like Smelly Shelly or turritella, right? Like, but he's come home. He went rock hounding with me, came home and cut his rock on the big saw. Like I say, he runs a tile saw. He cuts his own rocks at his own house, and he's been doing it for years. Probably as long as I've been at it, honestly. So he's got a great foundation. He can name a lot of our local fossils, some of our little sea critters. He knows, you know, braconite, belemnite, ammonite. Now he knows turritella, corals. He can identify some corals, things like that. So what a cool kid. But yeah, so we looked through some of my stuff here. I sent him home with a rock ID book and two fossil ID books, and I showed him how to read them and kind of how to use them, because that takes a minute to learn too. But if somebody can tell you, you don't have to read all the dry stuff in the beginning. You can, but I know a lot of it's like, you know, but if you want to just skim through and be like, hey, I think I find something here that looks really similar to that, and just kind of read that, and it's kind of fun. The way the book is set up is kind of fun, because it's kind of like rock hounding from your armchair. And I'm going to kind of try to explain that a little bit. So you've got said rock hounding book, right? And you think, oh, well, I think I might have found something that looks kind of like this. And you do the reading, and it says, this is often associated with this other word you don't know. Okay? And you're like, I've never heard of that before. And so you look and you go, well, what is that? And then you look, oh, that's on page 449. Okay, let's go over to 449 and new discovery. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. And oftentimes it's so, well, what's this other word or rock I've never heard of before? Oh, on page 232. Well, I'll be darned. Look at that. So for me, it's like a rock hounding expedition from my armchair. It's like, oh, look what I found. well, I'll be darned, look what I found next. Oh, and next I found this, you know? So you can sit there for hours and just jump from rock to rock, idea to idea, flipping through pages of that book, those books. So I'm so excited for him. I'm sure he's geeking out right now so hard. One more thing about Grayson too. He says while I was over at his place, he was in and out too. Like after we looked at all the rocks that he pulled from all of the hidden cubbies and places in the bed of this truck that he was finding, you know, amongst all of the, you know, the tool boxes and the, you know, calf puller and the, you know, whatever else is in the back of this truck, right? After he finished showing me all the rocks that are outside, he runs in and grabs a few, and he comes back out with a few, and he says, I think I found some dino bone. And I'm like, okay, let me see what you got here. And it had kind of a bony look on the outside of it, but it was kind of like solid black on the inside, and like almost agate but solid black. And I was like, well, I've never seen, you know. And I asked him, I said, did you lick it? Did you do the lick test? And he says, well, I didn't lick it, but I licked my finger, and he does. But I licked my finger and it sticks. And he's literally like standing over there with this rock hanging off his finger, like the whole time we talk. I wonder if mine will even stick to my finger that good. No, his was even stickier than mine. Ah. I mean, it's sticking, but his is like the whole time we're talking. I don't want to drop it in my coffee. It's hanging off of his finger. And as I'm looking at another piece of it, it's hanging off his finger. And I'm like, why? What? And I ask him, it's hanging off his finger. I ask him, do you mind if I lick a little piece of your rock, Grayson? And he's like, no, go ahead. And I lick it, nothing happens. And I'm like, well, then how come his is still stuck to his finger then, huh? And I roll it over a little bit and I lick it again and I'm like, oh, there it is. As I finally reach over to pull the bone off his finger, I'm like, I do think you found yourself some bone there, buddy. Yes, I do think you did. And like the more I look at it, yes, the more I think. And he's like, I found it in a gopher hole. And he's got like, you know, 8 little pieces of it. I found it in a gopher hole. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. What a fun kid. Anyway, so I think that the last title of the video with him in it was, you know, find a kid and take him rock hounding. I think that the next time we go, it's going to be find a kid and have them take you rock hounding. Him and his family, you know, it's a working place. That's why he's out all the time. He's out helping doing chores and stuff. And then of course, like his mom said, God, he can't take him anywhere and he doesn't bring rocks back to the truck. Yeah. Why don't you take me to your spot, buddy? Take me out to the old family farm and show me where you like to find your fossils. And let him lead us on an adventure on Prairie Girl Rocks. I think that's gonna be. Oh, and then before we parted ways, he urged me and to strongly reminded me that he would like very much for me to take him out this summer. And then he said, "There's only 20 days left of school." And I said, what are you doing? Are you keeping track, Grayson? Jeez. And he tries to play it off all cool. He's like, well, no, they've like got it posted in the lunchroom how many days are left. And I think last time I saw it, it said that there were 20 days left. Okay. Okay. I hear you, buddy. All right. Cheers to that. Cheers to that. I will grab you and take you when our schedules align, dude. Unfortunately, I think your folks need you for some work this summer, but when you're not working and I'm not working, or maybe I'll just come and help you work and we'll do work for rocks, right? You know, we'll figure something out. But yeah, what a great kid. Oh, we got a gopher hole to dig up, says Lava Bison. And Ryan, does he remind you a little bit of your dad? Oh, yeah, he's a good kid. I'm excited to go out with him this summer, whether it's to his place or to my place, it doesn't matter. Yeah, he has a lot of fun. So, and I love watching him light up, you know. It's fun for me to watch him have those aha moments where he makes those connections and he learns something new, or and not gonna lie, like the boys I've probably had maybe an aha moment or two where I'm like, really? You might be right. Oh, train the gophers to mine the rocks. Yeah, Meg, absolutely. It warmed my heart, you know, it really did. Like I say, I was so excited. I was like, I gotta share this story with you guys. Can you imagine being his mom and looking up out the truck window and here comes your kid? And I mean, Boulder. uh, yep, exactly. You were told to go pick rock all day. Yeah. If you were lucky, somebody followed you around with a tractor to dump them into, and you didn't have to lug them all the way to the edge of the field or put them in a pile somewhere. And that's the thing, Jennifer, is like, you would think his enthusiasm would be like so great to watch, but he's like such a level kid. Like I say, tried to play it off all cool, like, well, you know, it's probably posted in the lunchroom somewhere, and I probably see it every day. Last time I remember seeing it, it said there was 20 days left of school. Like I say, like, so, like, even when he's making super cool fossil finds and stuff, he's just like, yeah, man, yeah. Like, you know, like, or I found it in a gopher hole. Like, he's kind of like, I mean, he is excited. He really, really is, but he's like super level. Like, he's just like, I don't know. You can see it, the delight in his eyes, but he's just like, he's such a cool character that he's just like, oh, yeah, I learned something new. Like, all right. You could like really see cogs turning and stuff, but yeah. And he'll laugh and things at your jokes, and he'll make some jokes and smile and stuff, but like, even when he laughs and stuff, he does not have a boisterous, you know, enthusiastic laugh. It's very kind of subtle. And then think too, like, this kid is one of like, I'm not sure how many kids are in his family. One of many. And when I don't mean to profile or anything, but when you get big families of big kids like that, you get one or two that are super boisterous and, you know, outspoken, and then you get one or two that just kind of like to kind of just, I want to look at my rocks. I just want to look at my rocks and leave me alone, man. Just like my quiet time. I just want to be one with my rocks. That's my number one goal today, is just to learn about my rocks. I just want to go walk around the field and learn about rocks. Like, so yes, he has great enthusiasm, but it's subtle, it's cool, it's not boisterous or overbearing. It's more like thought, and I don't know. He's such a neat kid. He's a neat kid. But yeah, one of these days I am going to get him I'm going to put him on something, or he's going to find something. He's going to put me on something. We're going to have a moment where we're like literally out in the field jumping up and down going nuts, no matter how calm, cool, and collected he thinks he is. We'll watch us find a meteor. I'll be like, Grayson, it's a meteorite. Oh! That would be my luck. I'd be with that kid that like stays cool, and I'd be like, you know, and he'd be like, ah. Yeah, kind of like Sheldon is a rock hound. Exactly, Ryan. That's kind of where I'm at. But yeah. Only not germophobic in any way. Just more people phobic, maybe. Oh my gosh. Rocky Mountain Bear got me good the other night. Can I tell you guys about that? And then we'll call it a day. So I get this weird cryptic message from Bear. And it says, did I hear you once say that you're afraid of achondrites? And would you say that you're still afraid of them? And achondrites, in case, I mean, we had a couple in here, Machine Head or somebody in here earlier that might not know that I'm a meteorite nut. Achondrites are that weird class of meteorites that don't look like meteorites. They look a lot like Earth stuff. And they're very rare. And they're the stuff of my nightmares. Why? Because I'd love to find a meteorite someday. I fully expect that it'll be one of the 3 more common types of meteorites, unless I see something on my camera or, I find something that I saw fall, or if it hits a building or something, we're probably not going to find one of those weirdos out here in the Rockies. But moving on past all the details of that. So I fully expect that I'd find one of the 3 main kinds. But knowing that there are some out there that look so bizarre and so much like Earth rocks is like nightmare fuel for me. It's the stuff of my nightmares. So, yes, I would walk right past an achondrite. I might even pick it up and throw it back on the ground. That's why they're the stuff of my nightmares. It's because they're really, really tricky. And even if somebody dropped one in my hand, I would even say it's no. No, it's not a meteorite. What is that? A piece of petrified wood? What is that? A piece of epidote? I mean, there are some of those really, really weird ones that don't look. I'm a nut, not a nut. No, connoisseur. That look like kind of some Earth material. Okay, like lunar can kind of look like breccias and things like that. So, yes. So Bear, just out of the blue, did I hear you say you're, afraid of achondrites? Yes, I am. I reply, yes, I am. It's the stuff of my nightmares, I tell Bear. To which he replies, would you say you have achondrite phobia? And I was like, yes, I do. I'm like, I'm probably the only person in the whole wide world who suffers from that too. But is there some kind of medical compensation, financial compensation that I'm owed for that or something? Or do you know something I don't know? Like, is there help? Is there help for me? It's pretty bad affliction. I should probably see a doctor, right? And then he says, achondrophobia is the fear of little people or dwarfs. Would you say that's what you have? And I'm like, no. No. Achondrophobia may be the fear of little people, but I have achondrite phobia, which is the fear of achondrites slipping under my radar, throwing them back. Yeah. Oh, I should probably see it. It's a serious affliction. Wonder if there's a support group for that. Oh, guess what there is? We meet on Wednesday nights. It's called Topher Spin Meteorites. We go to Zoom. The login of information's available, and the password is always Topher Spin Meteorites. Oh, Topher Spin, I mean. Silly Bear, though. Would you say you have achondrite phobia? Yes, I do. You should study my brain for science. No, he messaged me the other night, Joseph and Rosie. Like I say, he kind of set it up. Like, do I remember you saying you're afraid of achondrites? Would you say you have achondrophobia? Like, yeah. He's like, achondrophobia is a fear of little people. I'm like, no. You missed the T. Achondrite phobia. Oh, it was cute though. It made me laugh. And then reconsider my mental status. Like I say, it also made me consider maybe I should submit my brain for scientific study when I'm gone. Please have it noted in my medical records that I suffer severely from achondroitophobia. I'm afraid of Martians, lunars, and Vesta, the HEDs. I'm terrified of them. The Howardites, the Eucrites, and the Diogenites. Ah! The lunars and the Martians. Ah! I have a few, but I still can't get my mind fully around them. So yes, they are the stuff of my nightmares. Maybe someday I'll understand and it won't be so terrifying. No, and I've heard of people like, there's a word for people who are afraid of space, which is like a really real thing, you know, because, and it is, I mean, really, if you stop and try to think about it, it's so vast. And so like, and I think, oh, that's silly, you know, the fear of space. But honestly, if my behind was strapped into the shuttle and they were getting ready to launch me into space, I think I would be severely afraid. I'd be like, I changed my mind. Does anybody else want to take my seat? Like, so at first thought, you know, the fear of space sounds a little ridiculous, but when you actually stop and think about space, it is a little bit terrifying. So, oh, but yeah. Okay. Like I say, in the future, I would like to find a kid and let him take me rock hounding out at his family farm where he's pulling all these boulders and fossils out of. He also commented about when I went over to Rudyard for the Fossil Fun Days and met with Jack Horner and his apprentice Holly and her apprentice, gosh, why can't I remember the other gal's name? Anyway, he said, watched your video where you went over to the Fossil Fun Days. And I said, yeah, did you watch it, Grace? Yeah. Where you got to meet Jack Horner? And I said, yeah. Lucky, he said. I said, that's not the first time I met Jack Horner. Lucky, he says again. And then he proceeds to tell me, we were there, but we had to leave early. So I didn't get to meet Jack, he says. Well, if it's any, like, I had to work that day and I drove. Look at that. We're going to have a premiere in 30 minutes. I think it's ready to go there, guys. I worked that day and my mom drove. My mom drove us over to the Fossil Fun Days. And I was like, we're not going to get there on time. And my mom's like, yes, we are. She was speeding away. Don't tell anybody she was speeding away. A lot. And when we got there, I got like the very end of Holly's lecture and the Q&A from the audience, which was really cool. But I didn't get to see the dinosaur. I didn't get to go in the museum. I got to do a quick little interview with Holly and her apprentice, which was like, I mean, priceless, just to get to ask some questions of those people was extraordinary experience for me. I mean that's just kind of a really amateur video, but it was an extraordinary experience for me. And like I say, little Grayson's over here like, lucky, you're so lucky. So you know, that's definitely, that didn't go unnoticed. And if I have an opportunity maybe this year when they do that or any other kind of thing like that going on, maybe I'll kidnap him, you know, in a very kidnappy kind of way with approval from his parents. And we can go do some of that stuff. Like I say, that would be the kind of time when I might pop up live that isn't scheduled and maybe might be, you know, we're hoping for good service kind of stuff. So thank you, Chubby Hubby, for putting the link. I really do hope it's fully uploaded. I haven't checked. Oh, we only crashed and burned, you know, 3 or 4 times this morning as we got up and got going. It's okay. So yeah, I would love to take him, you know, to Fossil Fun Fest this year if I can, or
I'd actually really like to get my kid, my youngest one. Of course, everybody's going north to Alaska. My oldest one, like I say, he's here just for a few more days. He's home just for a few more days before he heads up to Alaska for his fishing job. I'm so excited for him. Uh, anyway, his dad and his brother and his grandma and everybody are headed up there to go, like, fishing and stuff. I don't know if there'll be a customer on his boat or not, but they are going to go up and do the fishing tour and some of that stuff. So everybody's leaving for Alaska for the next little bit, but maybe if I get a chance, like I say, with my youngest guy, especially while he's home this summer, I'd like to try to get up to Riding on the Stone. They just passed that stupid rule where you have to have the real ID to cross the border. So I might have to go get a stinking real ID. But yeah, I'd like to do that with him before he's all moved out and gone. So things, as the weather gets nice and we finally can, what'd you call it? Snow and Peter? the rockin' Peter, the snow. It impedes my ability to see the rocks. Then I can fly too. Oh, yay! Because I actually do want to go places and do things, even if I'm afraid to get on an airplane. Maybe I'll get the dang ID. All right. Anyway, yeah, so when he gets back, maybe we can do something like that. We'll see. That international border crossing can kind of be a hassle, and there's stuff to do all over the state. And then, yeah, I'd like to maybe head south sooner than later. Maybe hit Utah and Arizona a little bit. Maybe for the gem show this fall, We'll see. So, rock blocker and impediment. Rock blocker. Yep, that stuff. Yeah. I don't think you could rock hound a whole lot up in Canada and bring a lot of it back across the line without declaring that you got it. I mean, hounding, going up and buying stuff maybe, but so, if I went up to a shop or something, rock shop or something, but fines, I don't know if they're, especially if they're fossils and pet wood, man, they are tight in Canada about their pet wood. They consider that to be a fossil, and it's like it holds the same standard as like their ammonite fossils, the big ones, or their dino bone fossils and stuff. Like pet wood, they're serious about, like, they're not even, I don't know the real truth, grits and bones of this, but you guys remember Greg D? He lives up in Canada, and he's part of some rock hounding clubs and stuff up there. They're not even supposed to pick pet wood up and put it in their tumblers. They're not supposed to modify or change the fossils without the permission from the government or something like that. So I'm like, whoa. I mean, I'm glad to be from Montana, where I can pick up all the pet wood I want. In fact, I bagged up most of the pet wood finds that I made on my trip the other day to stuff into somebody's package. So I'm so glad that they don't tell me I can't do that here. And besides that, like, I'm gonna maybe chop that one up. If I found it, I was like, finally, I got one that might fit in a saw. So, yeah, always rocky things happening here, whether it's, being the local go-to for, hey, would you please come look at my rock, and me encouraging kids to do stuff like this. That's right, polish that specimen up. I love this. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Let's see, which one is it? That one. Look at the little circle inside of him. Boop. A little black circly Q. Anyway, like I say, encouraging kids to go ahead and do stuff with their finds. Try it. What are you gonna do? You're gonna ruin your rock? Be all right. We'll go find another one.
Lava Bison's been trying some new stuff too, and I've been trying to kind of stay out of his way and not, over the shoulder drive. I did a little bit at the very, very beginning. I was like, are you running that fast enough? You got enough water? It doesn't sound right. Does it sound right? Are you running it? No, I just let him go, so, and I'm always really excited to see what comes out the other side of that without my involvement. So yeah, I mean, is there a rock hounding club available up here? No, there really isn't. Is there kind of like a little rock hounding club available up here? Yeah, it kind of is. We were gonna try to get Lava Bison's mom to learn how to watch lives and chat, learn how to premiere and chat, and maybe get her to try at least the little saw. She's been a glass worker for a long time, and I think that she'll find that transition from glass to rocks to be kind of a familiar feel. So she might really like it. This might be like the hang for all the rock hounds. Like we'll just open up the doors in the living room and call it the freaking, the Northern Rock Hounders Association or something. I will not charge a fee, but you are responsible if you hurt yourself. Awesome. Well, I'm going to do one more quick little fill up here. And we're going to actually, I think, roll right into where the Rock Hounds unite. When and where they unite. There is power in numbers. Yeah, it's great. It really is great because, some of us are better at, photographing and videoing our rocks to make them, look the best. And some of us are really, really good at shaping and making cabs. And some of us are really good at silversmithing and setting those pieces that somebody has shaped. Some of us are really good at a lot of all of that. Some of us are good at editing videos. Some of us are good at telling the stories. Some of us are good at, whatever. I mean, how-tos or, some of us have a geology background and some of us don't. And I mean, so really that bringing all of those different little avenues and angles together is really kind of cool. One more thing before we zoom on out of here. I was watching Nick Zentner the other day, doing one of his live classes, and he had a couple of very young students approach the camera right after class, and they're like, we don't know what to say. And it's good. It's good that I like that he pushes them to talk like that, get good at talking and presenting and stuff. Don't be shy, And he's like, just tell them who you are and what you're studying and what kind of classes you're taking and why you do or don't let, just tell them who you are. Anyway, they got on and they were, awkward and shy, and they admitted that seeing that and Nick's chats are full, seeing that many comments roll by really fast was a little overwhelming for them, they admitted. But the one girl happened to see one comment go by, and it wasn't me. I didn't make the comment. Somebody said something about astrogeology, and she was like, ooh, that could be fun. And I was like, yes, and we need more. That's a frontier kind of geology, and that's hard. But the other girl standing next to her was talking about really enjoying looking at her thin sections and things like that. And I was like, gosh, again, the power of the group. The one girl who perked up at the idea of astrogeology started her conversation by saying, hey, I'm so-and-so. I really don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I haven't decided yet. And my thoughts as she was saying, that's okay. That's okay. You're young, you can try things before you decide what you want to do. And that's exactly what she's doing, is trying some things, So, but she knows she loves to work outside. She loves to work with rocks, And then, like I say, the one standing next to her actually really liked the lab parts of things. She was really liking the looking at thin sections and really getting into the details of her rocks. And I was like, man, both those girls would be really awesome in astrogeology, and we need them both. We need the microscope girl for classification and identification, and we need the geology girl to tell us cool things. Like, I could get into so many mind-blowing stuff about, like, how we can actually eliminate like where our Martian meteorites might have come from, or lunars. I think maybe I might be taking it a step too far when I say Martian, but our lunar meteorites, we can say there are a handful of craters on the lunar surface that are actually big enough to have had ejecta that might have left the surface of the moon and created later lunar meteorites that fell to Earth, right? And so we could say, oh, could have come from like maybe, honestly, we can narrow it down to like a possibility of like, maybe this many craters probably came from here, 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 or here. Of all the thousands of craters on the moon, I mean, that's just a basic observation, right? Those ones are the biggest ones. Those are most likely going to be the ones that produced the ejecta that have later made lunar meteorites, right? But let's get some like, geology guys thinking more about stuff like that, because there are discoveries to be made and stuff like that. So yeah, when she lit up at the idea of astrogeology, I was like, get some, girl. Woo! Yeah. Yes. So, and some are good at watching, right, Sandmaker? Cheers to you. All right, I got just a couple minutes. I am going to fill the cup up so I can have a fresh cheers. We'll sing this song really quick, and then I'll see you guys over for the premiere. Hopefully I didn't give all the goodies away. I didn't give all the secrets away, and it's still fun to watch. It's going to be. Oh, good golly, that's good. So good. Jennifer, did I actually say hi to you, or just like notice that you were there and just have conversations with you? I don't know if I actually said hello. Hello. And to anybody who's out there lurking or watching later, thank you for hanging out today. Wednesdays, I so look forward to Wednesdays, where we get to trade ideas and help each other learn things and look at new stuff together. And ooh, excuse me, now my nose itches. Got my coffee and now my nose itches. Oh, by the way, speaking of my itchy nose, there's been just a little touch of something kind of creeping through the house, a little cough, sneeze. Like, I don't know if it's pollen in the air. I don't know. Anyway, and when it gets like really windy out here, by the way, like it can make your eyes water and it can make your nose run. Even just the chill can make your nose run and all that stuff. When that stuff dries, when those little crispy tears dry and those little like nose runnings dry, they leave like little white crusty stains. And I'm not gonna lie, I noticed in the video when I'm recording on the way out of the rock hounding trip that I've totally got dried snot on the end of my nose. And I was like, I could edit it out, or I could just, you know what? I'm going to full send it. It really looks bad. Like, it's like white, dry snot on the end of my nose. And I think about it later. I'm like, I went into the grocery store like that. They probably thought I was sticking stuff up my nose. And I really wasn't. I really wasn't. It's just the arid climate drying one's own fluids to one's face. Okay. And like I say, I thought about it for a half a minute. I was like, gross. And it looks terrible. But, oh well, I'm not too vain to be like, guess what? I'm gonna have to go out and re-edit I'm gonna have to refilm the outro because no one can see me with a booger on my face. Oh. Yeah. All right. Let's look at a few of these. Again, my kid. I hear him in the background. It's okay. We'll get over it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. We'll look at it. I just got a few here. You guys ready for the song? We're going to do the song and then we're going to go over to the premiere. We'll have just a quick minute to go get a fresh cup or take a bio break or something, and then we'll head on over there for the findings and the adventures. Or you can watch me get mad and then get glad. For real. All right. Pretty rocks out on the prairie, pretty rocks are everywhere, pretty rocks for us to look at, pretty rocks are everywhere. There's a pink one and a green one and a blue one and a yellow one, and they all are very pretty, and they all are everywhere. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. It really is the highlight of my week. And remember, in a world where you can choose to be anything, choose to be kind of a rockhound. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you around. I'll see you very soon in the premiere, but I'll see you elsewhere later throughout the week. Have an awesome one. Boop. Boop.